Hello and welcome to Vibe Cafe, a show where we give our hot takes on spontaneous, controversial, and even entertaining conversations. We always bring you positive vibes and maximum entertainment. My name is Tara. I do not do this alone now, do I? Always have the ever gorgeous, ever pretty, stunning, amazing Laring.
Hi.
You look
You're running out
different.
of compliments.
I am. Like I would add handsome.
Like I was
would
just
add
waiting. Okay, keep going. My head was
Like,
swelling. I'm like,
you
okay.
should. You really look beautiful.
You look good as well.
Thank
Amazing.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
so excited to be on the
Yes.
show as always. We are going to be having a very interesting conversation. I have a
Confirmed.
feeling this conversation is going to get passionate because we both love this topic,
Yeah.
and we've also got movie review. We are going to be playing a game, basically entertaining you. So if you want to know what we're going to be talking about, stay with us. We'll go on a break and we'll come back to start the conversation. This is Vibe Cafe. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. If you're just joining us, today we are going to be talking about something that I really love to talk about, and that is dating. We're asking the question, does age really matter? That's what we're talking about today, because I mean, sometimes, we hear these conversations all the time. People getting into relationships with people who are older, society frowns upon it. You might have had this conversation, I definitely have had this conversation, and we decided to bring it on the show. So I'm asking you, do you think age matter in relationships?
Does it matter?
Yes.
No. Should it matter? Yes.
Okay. Please,
Right.
do you want to explain
I
yourself?
would explain. Okay, so now it's relative, yes. A 20-year-old dating a 40-year-old is questionable to me.
Okay.
Someone in their 20s dating someone in their 40s. Someone in her 30s dating someone in his 40s is quite all right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
so you're saying if the man is older?
yeah, not necessarily the number, the space. I mean,
Okay.
there's like 10 years difference.
Okay.
Between and then it's coming from you're 20. In your 20s, we always say what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. You have no business dating someone who is in their 40s, someone who has had their lives figured out. You are just having your life figured out at 20. You don't know nothing, or at least half of what being in a relationship should be about. That man is ready to get married. That man in his 40s is ready to start a family. He has been through series of relationships to understand better than you do in your 20s. It could be the other way around.
But there are some 20-year-olds that are actually more mature than 40-year-olds.
I mean, I know we'll get to that part, but like when we're specific about like saying age, yes, it matters. It should matter, like I said, but it doesn't matter. Do you understand? It doesn't, because after all, people are doing it. There are successful relationships and marriages that have a huge age difference and it's working. And one of the reasons is that a maturity thing that you've talked about. There are a lot of younger people that are matured than those in their 50s, right? But it should matter. I, for one, would not date someone who is in his 20s. That's
someone that's younger than you.
Yes. I'll date someone who is younger.
Or same age.
Yeah, I'll date someone who is younger, right? If the person was in his early 30s, I'd go ahead and date you. But being in your 20s, I will not date you.
So someone who's same age range with you, you are not cool with that?
That's like same age? No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Same age is fine, right? But I'm saying now that I would not go. I would date someone in my age bracket and away from my age bracket, above it, not below it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually feel like when it comes to age, it just, for me, just make sure the person you're with, in terms of maturity, is on same level as you are. Because like I said earlier, you could be younger and more mature than someone who's older, right? So I think that's the only thing I would put into consideration. I have dated someone who's older than me, I think 8 years.
Older than you.
Yeah, 8 years older than me. And I think in that relationship, I learned so much about myself, about my environment, even my career. Like, it was just so different.
That person was teaching you these things.
It's not like, come sit here, let me teach you, but like just being in a space with this same person, because they've been through life. There are certain things they've experienced that would have taken me a longer time to experience
Very
for me
true.
to get to that
Yeah.
point. Just being in that space where the person is kind of made me grow, right? So because of that, I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, you know, if you're dating, just make sure the person in question
Yeah.
is mature and on same frequency
Yeah.
and, you know, understands you, knows how to communicate with you, you know, and I think it's okay.
It's okay,
But like you said,
definitely, yes.
there's a certain age gap that might be difficult
Yes,
to
that wouldn't
bridge.
exactly work.
Yeah.
Now, have you dated someone who's younger?
No, I
don't-
actually have.
So I have dated younger people.
Okay.
And it wasn't all that bad. I mean, I was naive at the time. I didn't
Right.
know much about relationships, but I have been with younger guys. I found out later in the relationship because age is not really something I'm bothered about. Initially, I had that notion that it doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter, it's just a number, blah blah blah. But today I'm sitting here and I'm saying that it should matter. You should really think about it. Aside the whole emotional stability and the mental state of the person, you should really.
Is
really
it just
think
because
about
you
it.
felt like you were babying the person? Like,
I wasn't, funnily enough. I wasn't babying them. I dated like 3 guys that were younger. Yes.
so what was
They
the
were
issue?
mature.
Okay.
They were okay. They were all right. But then, so in school, I would finish school, and you're still in school.
Okay.
I would be done with service.
It's just like you're ahead.
Just, yes, I was ahead, and it wasn't about me now. I think for people, I don't know why I do that. I'll be like, this guy, so if I continue this relationship with you now, I'm already done. Yes, at the end of the day, we're going to meet up to the whole working space level and whatnot, but I don't know how you're going to see it. I didn't know how to understand people's feelings because I wasn't strong with communication then. So I'll just end it because I'm like, nah, this won't work. This won't work. I'm older than this person. And I just know that African men would love to be older than their partners. Once upon a time, my ex called me and let me know that the girl he wants to marry is a month older than him. And he had a problem with that.
What?
Yes. He's like, she's October, he's November. And he's like, that's an issue that he has always wanted to marry someone
I
who's older
personally
than.
actually
And
like it. And I
People
think that's
like
I
it.
think that's why I've never dated someone that I'm old. It just like it's that like I explained in the relationship I talked about earlier. It's just the process of being in this space and learning. So
Yeah.
like things that would have literally taken me 5 years to learn. Just being in that space and having conversations. It's
But
like you pick
you
up these
saying this
things without
now,
even knowing.
Are you saying you can't teach a younger person because you dated an older
I'm
person?
not saying I
and-
can't teach. It just maybe I don't have that patience to now, you know, walk because I'm also trying to find myself and trying to build and learn. So maybe if I get to a point where I feel like, okay, I'm more stable, you know, mentally and otherwise, I could do that.
Yeah.
But now I'm still trying to figure myself out. So now taking on another person's stress and trying to help them figure life, it's just too,
I mean, a guy would also
it's
say
just
that,
too
but then
much.
I think most guys are okay with. I mean, it's easy for the guy. It's easy for the guy who is older to be in a relationship with a girl who is younger, and she enjoying it than the other way around. I
well,
think so.
In my case, and again, 8 years is quite so. Whatever you would,
reasonable, yeah.
he had figured out. He was at a point where he was more stable. You know, just there are little things like in my workplace, I would have, you know, a situation I wouldn't know how to handle, and I come to you. It's like I'm trying not to use the word father figure, but it's like I could come to you and say, okay, this is a situation that's happening. If it were you, how would you handle this? And the advice I would get,
Yes.
it's like it makes sense. I would
wouldn't have
think
thought
about.
about
I would
that.
never have thought
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
You know, so little things like that made me really learn so much, and that's why I'm saying as long as the person understands you
Yes.
and you can communicate,
Yes.
you know, effectively,
Yes.
it works. But hey, so we still have so much talking to do, but this is the part of the show where we get to check out our fact file. Tara,
Okay.
what's on our fact file?
So it is saying right now that a third of women have dated men that are like 10 years older than them.
Oh, okay.
Like 10 years older than them. 10 years. And then the men have dated women who are like 20 years times 2 older than them.
Really?
Yes. And funnily enough, when I have conversations with guys, when I used to be on radio and do the night show, I would ask them if they would date older people, and it's always a yes. There's the hookup segment of the show, and guys who are in their 20s, early 20s, will call in and say, I want somebody who is 37. I want somebody who is...
Wait, what? I
is-
actually thought that
Yeah.
it was women that were more like comfortable dating
People
older
no.
men.
Even the men, even the boys, they want to date older people, way older people. They do not mind. That's why I was saying that they're looking for that level of maturity as well. They're
someone
looking
that can
for
handle
yes, someone that can handle them, because figuring it out on your own sometimes can be really difficult. You'll just be going back and forth with yourself. You think you're doing it right, then someone comes in and you realize that, okay, wait, what is this? And then there's just something about you being older. You're wiser. You're better.
Like you've seen,
yes, you know
seen
better.
things.
So it's like for the men, it's like an easy relationship space. You don't have to like baby you. Instead, you're the one.
It's
who's
easy to communicate.
easy.
You know,
It's easy
younger,
with the older
younger,
person.
especially the ladies. I'm not trying to throw shades
but
or
it's the
anything
truth,
like
though.
that, but
Yeah.
younger ladies. It's like
If
communication.
you look
It's
back
like
at how we were
yes,
dating when we were younger,
I can see myself, and
the
I'm like,
trouble.
what was that? It wasn't necessary, you know.
Unnecessary
So
drama,
yeah,
yeah.
I can totally relate and understand. But I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How old is too old for you?
How old is too old for me? If you had asked this 2 years ago, I would have said 40
Okay.
or 50. But right now, too old would be 60.
Okay.
60 is too old.
So if the person is 50,
I'm good.
40.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
50,
interesting.
55. I'm good. I am also
You
getting
can
that
deal.
vibe of...
You can deal with that.
You said it yourself. The mature mind, the calmness.
yeah.
But see, there's a lot of work you have to do as the younger
So the
person.
thing is, yeah, I ordinarily the speed at which I grow, it's crazy.
Right.
Like I could be this today, and in the next few days, I'm a completely like the speed is so much. So if I'm dating someone in same age range, it's at some point I'll grow that relationship.
yeah.
So someone who's more older kind of just gives me a space to grow at the pace that I know I grow, and it's just easier for me to work in such
And
relationships.
I love so much the fact that you know this about yourself. See, it's important. When we say this all the time, people do not know. When I say it, you begin to sound like a broken record. You need to know yourself. Like, this is amazing, knowing that, because it will affect your relationship. But now you know this. So even if you say, let me just close my eyes and be with this person, it doesn't matter. When the relationship starts to fail, when it starts to go south, you will know that
I
this
just
is the
agree.
reason
So,
why.
so you think you have a problem, you know? So the only way it would work is if the person also grows at same pace. So we're constantly growing together. That works. But
someone who
if it's not,
yes,
it's definitely not going to work.
I mean, it's a whole lot. So we would be going in and out of different topics, just talking about whether or not age matters in a relationship. You have your opinions that you're totally entitled to. This is just our hot takes on the topic. We would return with tips of the day, and also, I mean, there's more. There's the movie and the part where Larry is going to flog me with scores. Do not go anywhere. Vibes Cafe will return. Vibe Cafe will return in a minute.
Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. This is the part of the show where we get to give you our tips of the day.
Right.
And today we are going to be giving tips on how to bridge the age gap if you're dating someone older or younger.
Yes,
Are
please.
you ready for
I
it?
am ready.
Okay.
I mean, it goes without saying. The first thing on the list should be communication.
True.
You need to. It's a skill. If you go to the doctor, you don't expect the doctor to just look at you and know how you're feeling, right? You will take your time. You know where it's hurting. You know what you're feeling. So you're going to tell the doctor how you feel so he can administer the right treatment to you. It's the same with a relationship. Yeah, it's the same with you taking your car to the mechanic. Okay, I'm driving and I'm feeling like this leg is, It's the same with a relationship. people have over the years assumed that we're mind readers, you know. Okay, so I'm dating this guy. He should know. He should know he offended me. He should know the reason why I have this straight face and I'm like this is because he hurt me. It's because of what he said last night. Meanwhile, that person that said what he said last night did not even mean it to hurt you as much as you're taking it, right? Understand that you need to learn to communicate how you feel, what you want, everything. Ask questions every now and again. And as your relationship, like as your relationship grows, as you're going on in the relationship, there are conversations that you need to bring up. In fact, I advise that you go over the conversations you've had at the start of the relationship, bring it back. Let's go back to the first time. Let's talk about the things we spoke about the first time. People feel like, no, there's nothing to talk about now. The relationship is going. There is. There's always something to talk about. I mean, if you've never talked about where the relationship is headed, at some point you should. So you don't end up wasting his time or wasting her time. Communicate everything. Larry, I cannot emphasize enough how important communication is. I used to be the girl that was quiet. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't ask for anything. It's like anything goes because I love you. I'm just here. You know, if you call it or call it off, then I mean, off we go. I would never say anything. You could be flirting with girls. They pay me for body, but I will keep quiet.
Wow.
I will go to bed and just pray that you don't do it again. Madness. Until I learned that, see, communicate. Let him know what you did hurt me. It's not fair. There's no point. There's no need for us being mad at each other unnecessarily. You can just talk it out.
Also, I would say be on the same page. As you know, especially for the ladies, dating someone really older would make people start questioning the relationship. Society talks. Even you might feel a certain type of pressure depending
Because
on
of the
age,
money.
you know. Also, apart from that, it could be the part where because one person is older, wiser, it might seem like they're the one controlling the pace and where the relationship
Very
goes,
true.
right?
Very true.
So because of that, I like to say that be on the same page. Make sure that both of you want the same thing from the relationship for each other.
Yes.
Make sure you're on the same frequency and you understand where you're taking this. If not, it would seem as though the older one is the one controlling how the relationship goes and where they're taking it to, and it can be a bit too much pressure on the younger person. So yeah, I would definitely say that.
And since we're like being more specific about whether age matters or not, if you're dating, if as a lady you're dating a guy who is older, that is considered normal. It is absolutely normal. But now where the gap is huge, yes, you want to be sure that that person is okay with dating a younger person, like because it's not about you anymore. Like I said, a girl dating a guy who is older is like normal, but where the gap is huge, you need to be sure that he has no concerns whatsoever about dating a younger you, probably because of how you two met, you know, and how the relationship started. That conversation was never had. You need to know. It's the same as saying being on the same page. And if it's the other way around, it should be the same thing. Both of you should understand. I mean, look deeply about the age differences that you've got going on, and remember that it's not just about both of you, especially if your families are invested in the relationship. If the guy is someone who is always talking to his mother about that, your relationship might be shaky because one day he's going to tell her, mommy, she's this age or she's that age, and mommy will try to convince her son to not date you for whatever reason that she gives. And since mommy knows best, I mean, he's going to want to listen to mommy.